All right, let's start with the big story that we're tracking this hour, where the Indian Army Chief General Bipin Rawat and Foreign Secretary Vijay Gokhale and also National Security Advisor Ajit Doval secretly reportedly visited Bhutan earlier this month for talks on a series of strategic issues, including Doklam recently. The WION has also learnt that the meeting focused on bilateral and defence cooperation with a special emphasis on China's growing military influence in the Doklam sector. The meeting reportedly happened after India found the PLA patrolling areas held by the Royal Bhutan Army. The PLA has also been conducting patrols in Lharyong, Sarithang, Sinchumlum and also the Pankala, besides air sorties in the region and also in the northern part of Doklam. The officials say that the PLA has been continuing with force consolidation and has also erected as many as 25 small to medium-sized tents in the Dokla spur. Now, the PLA convoys continue to ferry troops and logistics towards the Dokla spur via Sinchela. Now, the secret high-level visit by the Indian delegation to Bhutan comes just 6 months after India and China had mutually agreed to resolve the Doklam standoff. More on this, we are joined in by our senior editor Surya Gangadharan. Surya, you've been tracking this story very closely. In the month of August, the 24th of August last year, the two countries had decided to mutually disengage from the standoff at Doklam. But what is happening now?
No, I think basically China and India have agreed to disengage. But the Chinese have ensured that their troop presence in that area, I think about 1,800 odd personnel, has been built up right through the winter.
Right.
And there is some infrastructure also that has been noticed, including some tents and some supply depots, etc. So this is something the Chinese are doing on their side of the Doklam Plateau. So it's not in that sense inimical to India or to Bhutan. The problem will come if the Chinese again resume road building, in which event India will intervene again.
Right.
So that's really the situation right now.
And also, does it at all surprise you that India's army chief and also Ajit Doval should have visited Bhutan? What do you think has in fact passed in this meeting of the Indian delegation there?
This would be, I presume, about the mutual understanding India and Bhutan have. We have an agreement, a security agreement, where in the event of some issue, some dispute or something on their border, India and Bhutan will consult each other and decide what are the best steps to take. So I would presume that this is part of that agenda too. The two sides looking at security issues on their side of the border, on any other issues that India may also have, and they will work out some whatever is required to be worked out at the lower levels. So in that sense, it keeps up the contact and the dialogue between the two sides, and also explores perhaps some of the issues that we are currently discussing, the Chinese intentions and how this could pan out as summer approaches.
Right, and also, Surya, the fact is, after August, after the two nations agreed to disengage mutually from Doklam, India has held back. But the fact is the Chinese around the Doklam Plateau have been continuing with their fortifications. So it appears that China does not, in fact, want to give up on Doklam, a claim that they had staked during the crisis.
So the Chinese say that Doklam is theirs. And they say the standoff which happened last year was India basically intruding into Chinese territory. This is their standard claim. Although they have been negotiating on the Doklam issue with Bhutan for many years. So this is what the Chinese say. There's always some dissimulation from their side. And you refer to some fortifications that the Chinese are erecting.
Correct.
When you frankly look at it from what we are getting from army sources and also from the MEA, these are not quite fortifications. They are some kind of trenches that they have laid. There are some tents that have been noticed. There are trucks that are selling supplies to the 1,800 Chinese personnel there. And these don't, the Indian Army doesn't see this as a threat because it's all within artillery range, you know. So in the event of any conflict of any confrontation of any kind, frankly, they would be sitting ducks.
They would be sitting ducks is how you'd put it. But considering the strategic importance of the Doklam region, the Chinese being present there, should that not concern India?
No, it should concern India. That is why there was a standoff. it concerned India because they were building a road up from the Chumbi Valley to the Doklam Plateau.
Right.
Now, pending the final resolution of the Doklam issue between Bhutan and China, there was an understanding that there would be no road that would be built, and neither side would do anything to alter the current terrain or the
status,
whatever exists on the ground there. The Chinese violated that. That is why the standoff happened. So China's claims remain. India's stand remains. India moved in defense of Bhutan at the request of the Bhutanese government.
Right.
So that issue remains. For now, the Chinese are backed off. We don't presume this is going to be forever.
Right, we do not presume that it will be forever. Thank you very much indeed, Surya Gangadharan, for having joined us and brought us those insights. So it is an important meeting. The Indian Army Chief, the NSA and also the Foreign Secretary visited Bhutan earlier this month. The Chinese, despite the disengagement that has taken place, are still hovering in that area.